I no longer consider myself a Californian, says a man who moved from California to Texas a couple of years ago. It's a great video. Let's check this out.
I no longer consider myself a Californian. I'm a Texan. I've had people ask me, oh, you're from California. We don't much like California no more. And I'm like, well, that's okay. That's why I left. I don't like it either. We moved here to just have a better life, and we found it.
My name is Jennifer, and my husband, Chuck Balick. We are from Camarillo, California. We moved to Rockwell, Texas in April of 2021. And we have 6 kids between the 2 of us, and moved our big Balick bunch out here for less expense, more freedom, and better schooling.
We were paying $4,000 a month in rent. Try to save $100,000 for a down payment. It just isn't feasible, especially when you're paying over $6 a gallon in gas.
It was like a good 20% less cost-wise to live.
Now, we saw this happen a lot during the pandemic in 2020, 2021. A lot of people moved from California to Texas or Florida, or they moved from New York to Florida. And that's why we saw Florida stay so red, and we saw we saw Texas as well get more red in 2022. Let's keep going here.
Here, rent in California versus our mortgage here is already like $1,200. Most of it is cost of living, like gas, living expenses, that kind of stuff is really where we're seeing the savings.
A big part of it was feeling like our boat didn't count. We had a large group of friends and support out there that are all very much like.
And I was reading the comments from this video, this article, and a lot of people are saying, "Oh, don't forget why you came to Texas. Don't bring your liberal votes here." The guy and his wife are clearly conservative. They're clearly Republican, just based off the things they're saying. All right, let's keep going.
Minded, and yet we never felt like no matter how much we voiced our opinion, we were being heard. I want to say it wasn't necessarily political, but it was as well. We didn't want to move to a blue state, we'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't have made sense. That's exactly why we left California, was the overreach from the government. And then as well as the schools, the agendas that are being pushed in the school in California did not fall in line with how we want to raise our children. So that again, coming to Texas, we had heard phenomenal things. And since we've been here, we have literally watched our kids all thrive with the school systems.
Over the past few years, they're really starting to the sex education and, all of that goes along with that is being pushed starting in kindergarten.
We very much believe in, the school does its part to help educate our kids, but it's our job, our responsibility as parents to raise them as we see fit. The schools shouldn't be pushing an agenda behind our backs. And then even at that, we're not allowed to have an opinion at the school board meetings. So It literally just became, okay, it's time to become that modern day pioneer and find a better life for our family somewhere else. One of the biggest things that we have come to love about here in Texas was they do the Pledge of Allegiance the old fashioned way. They do a pledge to Texas. They are given a minute of silence for reflection or prayer or however they see fit. It's just the way it used to be done.
Yeah.
Where they allow us to be the parents and to teach.
And that's the way I knew when I was growing up in school, going to grade school. You had the Pledge of Allegiance, and I came here from California as a 5th grader, and it was the Pledge of Allegiance and the allegiance to the state of Texas.
The tough issues that the schools shouldn't have anything. Sexuality is a real thing. People need to discuss it. But us as parents, that's our job. It's not the school's job, especially some teacher that we've only met a few times when we're able to go in and meet them.
Exactly.
Well, I think it's already changed it for the better, for sure. definitely is going to be able to help us set up legacies for our kids, rather than in California, we would be probably leaving them with nothing. Having this many kids, it's hopefully being able to set ourselves up to help them, as well as help them set themselves up. Because in California, there's no way that when they become 18, 20 years old, that they can just go out, move out, and afford it. They can't. There's absolutely no way that they can afford to do that. Here, it's actually possible for them to like become an adult and get a job and get an apartment or a place to live and start handling their own bills without parental support.
Our priorities kind of changed as well. So in California, it was never a thought to, oh, I'm going to go buy 20 acres of land. Now we have some financial freedom, and I am looking for land, and with the thought of someday, if our kids want to build on that land, they can come build on that land. Who can own land in California? I mean, the mega rich.
Yeah.
But there was never anything to leave as far as a legacy or, a foundation for their future. I think everybody's mentality changed when we got out here. We had been so used to the way things were in California that we found a different type of freedom here. And not even necessarily a freedom that we realized we were looking for until we got here.
It's a great story. And this is a great state. Look, we have our flaws. We have our problems here, just like anybody else, any other state does. But there's a lot of land. The cost of living is cheaper. We're very pro Second Amendment state. We passed some great laws banning this gender affirming care nonsense. A lot of churches out here, so if you're a more religious person, it's a good place for you. And Texas has its own identity. This is why I love this state so much, and I don't want to see it lost to illegal immigration or people coming here trying to change our culture. But believe it or not, a lot of people that move here are conservative and they vote Republican when they get here. The data shows that. So whenever you hear people saying that Californians are destroying the state by voting Democrat, yes, there are some, but a large portion of them are voting Republican. I've talked to many of them. I've looked at the data. If you take a look at 2022, the election results there, we trended more red than we did in 2020. We have not turned blue. We have not even gone purple. So, and we saw the Dallas mayor has switched parties, switched to Republican. We saw Tarrant County get more red at this last election. So we need to keep this as a Republican stronghold. We need to get some of the rhinos out down in Austin. Yes, there are many of them, like the Speaker of the House down in Austin. There are some criticisms I have of Greg Abbott. Has he sold us out to certain people? That's another discussion for another day. But overall, the people of Texas have made this place, this state, a great place to live. And this family right here is a perfect example of why people come. His 6 kids, and his wife, all came out here for a better life, and you can see that they're instilling those great American values into them. And they will grow up and they will likely vote Republican as well and keep this place great. Now, we can't do anything about the heat. It's very hot out here in the summertime and it gets on my dang nerves. And that is probably the biggest drawback in my opinion. But I will take that over going to some blue state for a better climate. But I love it here. The economy is fantastic. It's very open. It just a pro Second Amendment state, and I'm a gun owner myself. A lot of like-minded people out here. It's affordable. Yeah, it's got more expensive, and that happens with time and things like that. But it's still more affordable than places like California or New York. But just watch this video if you're worried about the state of Texas going blue. It is not going blue. We have to get control of the border. That is for sure. Get control of this Colony Ridge nonsense, which I'll talk about more another day. But if you just take a look at 2022, we did get more red that this past election cycle. So yeah, I just want to talk about that because I come across stories like this every so often where it'll talk about families or individuals coming out here from California saying they came out here to be around like-minded people. They came out here for a better life. Their the political views out there didn't align with their values, which tells you they are not coming here to change the culture of Texas. They're coming here to assimilate and adapt to it and be a part of something that aligns with them. I saw a story about one guy who said he loves guns, he loves land, he wants the government to stay out of his life. So he came out here. So yeah, a lot of stories like that out there. But all right, guys, thanks for listening. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Take care.